Here we are at the Field of Dreams, Wentworth Park here in Sydney, and what a fantastic year of greyhound racing it has been, both in Sydney and right around Australia. Ben Damon with you for a special episode of Chasing the Dollar here on the Dogs TV. Joined as always by Tim Newbold. And Tim, we're going to have a look back in the year that was a fantastic year, and you've got 5 moments for us.
Yeah, it was a cracking year, Ben, and most of the 5 moments were here at headquarters in New South Wales, Wentworth Park. Great to see the sun shining finally in December here, and yeah, we're looking forward. It'll be a bit of a different show here today.
Yeah, most certainly will. We'll have a look back on the top 5 moments for Tim Newbold. It's been a big year for TAB Sportsbet, of course. Glenn Munsie joins us, and Glenn, plenty of dog racing coming up for us.
Yeah, thanks boys for inviting me here. The sun hasn't shone in Sydney for 4 months. I've got no hair and it's about 45 degrees here, so thanks for having an outside broadcast today. Massive year for TAB Sportsbet fixed odds was in the greyhounds. It's been an expanding product all year. Punters are really starting to enjoy the fact and getting their head around the ability to compare the fixed price with TAB Sportsbet with the parimutuel price, no matter where you are in Australia, whether you're betting on Unitab, of course SuperTab or the New South Wales TAB. We don't bar anyone at TAB Sportsbet, so it's a great opportunity for them, and going upwards and onwards all the way through the year.
Yeah, it certainly has, and you've got a little bit coming on in the next couple of weeks, some fixed odds markets.
We've got the Laurels semi-finals on Thursday night, the Silver Chiefs coming up, and always some great racing over the Christmas period.
Yeah, there always is, and plenty of sport coming up too. We'll get all that from Glenn in a minute. We'll get into Tim's top 5 moments after this. Let's get into the top 5 memorable moments for 2011 in New South Wales greyhound racing. Tim, give us your number 5.
Number 5, the Dapto auction, which was run only a couple of weeks ago. No Rules League for George McAuliffe, an $800 purchase at the 2010 auction. They collected $75,000. It's great to see that battlers can win the big money.
Siders Go Jesse's Girl followed next around those by Unfinished from One Banana. Well back on the run, Chevy.com, Dancing Cookie, the tail into Lagoon Neffy. The leader is No Rules League. 2 in front, Frisky Melody running the race of its life. In 3rd place, Go Jesse's Girl, One Banana as they turn. No Rules League in front. The favourites home. No Rules League races away to win by 4.
We move on to number 4, and it was a big night for Anthony Azzopardi.
Yeah, the Paws of Thunder for 2011. Fancy Will. The greyhound was purchased by Connections early on in its career, and it drew box 1 in the Paws of Thunder. It really shows boxers win big races, and $100,000 going to the winner, Fancy Will, my 4th highlight of the year.
Followed by Dusty Arizona. Oaks Road's getting along the inside from Newbold, Pedro, Fancy Dean, Alan Harper. Dusty Arizona down the back they go. Fancy Will in front of Alan Hertz. 3 lengths away as Oaks Road tacking on from Things Missing. 3 off Newbold, Pedro, Alan Harper, Fancy Dean, Dusty Arizona on the corner. Fancy Will in front, looking for the split. Oaks Road. Fancy Will's kicking. Fancy Will in front of Oaks Road, and Fancy Will.
Yeah, we move on to number 3, and fittingly we are here at Wentworth Park because we're talking about a track record. What a performance it was, and only last week.
Yeah, in the Christmas gift final, Newbold Pedro for Ken and Mary Wright. He's a greyhound which has promised a lot throughout his career. He clocked 29.43, shaving 1/100th of Queen Lauren's 2.5-year record. It was a purely dominant performance.
Out of play, making ground as Divine Law. Oaks Road the outside. Well back now was Bogey King and Gable Drum. Newbold Pedro down the back, shows the way about 8 lengths over Street Boss, followed by Divine Law. Next the outside, Undisputed Doss, Oaks Road as they swing, followed by Fancy Dean, but Newbold Pedro has exploded away. It's the Christmas gift final for Pedro.
Tim's number 2 highlight for 2011, and I think you might be talking through his kick here because you had a big result.
Yeah, only way to talk, Ben, as far as a punter's concerned. Spring gun for Christine Oldfield, winning the Group 1 Vic Peters. I think he announced his time on the big stage. He is a greyhound with incredible ability. This field is was one of the greatest I'd seen at Wentworth Park for an age-restricted race for years and years. He was brilliant leading all of the way, and he will go on to be one of the best greyhounds in the country over the next 12 months.
Clydesdale, Snoopy, Collins, Cold Fusion, and apparently so around the corner. Spring Gun is the leader. Zipping Catra, Matunga Nicky fighting out the Miners, but it's Spring Gun all the way. Spring Gun and the Vic Peters won by 5.
Okay, Tim's number 1 memorable moment of 2011. Very, very hard to go past. The biggest night of the year here at Wentworth Park, the Golden Easter Egg Final.
Yeah, and this time I'm not really talking through my kick because I didn't back Bradley Bale on this night, but the world's richest race, $250,000 going to the winner. Graham Bate has had a phenomenal year throughout the country, but in particular here at Wentworth Park, and Radley Bale absolutely blew them away in the Golden Easter egg for 2011.
Way followed by Gildy Ladd. He knows you know into the clear, but spotting the leader a dozen lengths. Next on the inside, Sergio Astonel, followed by High Earner and Hader Bale coming to the corner. Radley Bale is the leader. He knows you know is rattling home, but Radley Bale all the way. He knows you know a gallon second, but Radley Bale romps in. Radley Bale by 10.
Okay, well, there's Tim's top 5 moments for 2011. I'm sure you'll agree and disagree with some of those. Plenty more happening, though, through the course of this year and early next year with TAB Sportsbet Glenn Munsie. Very, very busy time. Boxing Day, one of the biggest betting days of the year.
Yeah, a massive day, Boxing Day, of course, always the cricket at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Australia, some people say surprisingly favourite to win the first test. They picked their side on Wednesday. Of course, always shocks and always going to be discussions about who got into the side there. But they're favourite. Good money for the draw. We've got the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, of course, on Boxing Day. Wild Oats 11's $1.33 or something. Only chance of getting beat is if they leave the bung out of the bottom of the boat. We got the Big Bash cricket continues. Some great horse racing, harness racing. We work our way towards the Inter Dominion for the Trotters, and then we've got a fair while to go for the Pacers. And then Australian Open tennis starting in Melbourne in January. It is going to be huge. You watch it all on Channel 7, and some great news from Channel 7. No matter where you're watching the tennis in Australia, you're going to get it live. Nothing on delay, so that'll be good for betting anyway.
He's a working advertisement, Glenn Munsie, that is for sure. Thank you very much for your support through the course of this year. You, Matt Jenkins and Jamie Rogers, a fantastic year for chasing the dollar, and thanks to TAB Sportsbet.
And a great innovation, I reckon. You've really got to give yourselves a pat on the back, boys. You've kicked this off, and now everyone's following you, so it must be pretty good.
Yeah, it must be. Thank you very much, Glenn. And to you, thank you very much, Tim. We've done pretty well. I think you've tipped a few winners for us over the course of the year, and plenty more to come next year.
Yeah, hopefully, Benno. I think we've backed a few winners throughout the year. I've had a profitable year anyway, which is probably the first for a few years, but it's good to see. So, no, it's been fun. As I said, hopefully we've found a few winners.
Yeah, we certainly have, and thank you for your support here on Chasing the Dollar. We'll talk to you next year. In the meantime, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.